Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, today we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 1, The Hope That Is You, Part 1. So, right off the bat, let me just say there may be spoilers in here for those of you who are subscribers to this channel. You guys know how I roll. People who are new to the channel, if you haven't seen the episode, what I would suggest is that you turn this off, go take a look at the episode, and then come back, or take a look at this episode and see if take a look at this and see if that episode is worth the watch. So, first, when dealing with Discovery, I'm gonna have to go back to my roots and say that I have to view everything through the lens of canon, Star Trek canon. So, a few of my first gripes, a few of the many gripes that I've had about season 1 and season 2 of Discovery has been the look of not just the aliens, the ships, and I understand the CBS 25% rule, but like I said in the first few videos I've made about Discovery, I am going to try to explain these things in canon. So, we jump roughly 900 odd years into the future of everything we know of the Trek universe. Okay, so basically almost 1,000 years. Now, the Klingons that they've been trying to tell us have been Klingons, we can say, hey, over the course of maybe 1,000 years, maybe the course of a millennia, that they would have changed again, because they made quite a different change between Enterprise, the original series, and the Next Generation. And that was explained in Deep Space Nine, which I thought did, well, it was pointed out in Deep Space Nine, but it was explained in Enterprise. And I thought they did a good job of explaining those particular changes. Now, we can continue to say that maybe the Klingons maybe underwent some other kind of species genetic manipulation that caused them to look like what we perceive as these Klingons now that's in season 3 of Discovery. But we know that that's not the case because they looked like that in season 1 and 2. But I'm trying to wipe the slate clean with Discovery and start anew. So that's my explanation for the Klingons. Now, the Andorians and the Orions, to me, looked a bit shiny. They looked a bit fake. But again, I'm going to try to explain that with just it being so far in the future. Okay, so let's get into the story. Now, when the episode first starts, you get a montage of a gentleman walking around a pretty high-speed space station. And, it looks like what appears to be metallic particles or metallic grains or something like that that's forming basically everything that occupies this particular place that this guy dwells. Now, I'm gonna have to say I paused it because me and my son, who's studying to be an engineer also, had to chat about this, and we spent about a good 10-15 minutes trying to see how this particular technology will work. And I'm gonna have to say that's a good sign, because Star Trek has always shown us the possibility of scientific advancements. Okay, so but then I'm gonna have to stop there, because during the next few scenes we're treated to what I can only describe as somebody was sitting around and said, hey, you know what, let's just make some cool stuff in space, do some cool stuff, and some cool stuff happens, and this is what happens, because I don't think they understood the fact that most Trekkies understand science. So, you mean to tell me that Burnham is going to come out of a wormhole and fly into a ship that's being pursued by another ship, which means they're going at pretty drastic speeds. She's going to hit the hull of that ship, and then somehow, through sheer luck, fall through all the debris that she fell through. All right, and I don't care what kind of impact shields you have. All right, to do all of that and then crash land into the surface of a planet and get up And no, 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 no. I will not suspend my disbelief that much. I cannot suspend my disbelief that much. And I don't think that the viewers should suspend their disbelief that much when it comes to Star Trek. Okay, so they had lost me right there for a minute. I had to go and make some popcorn. So when I came back, I resumed this interpretation. I can only describe as somebody who was just really into Buck Rogers and, you know, just really decided they wanted to do some Trek. So I decided to continue this blasphemy. But in this, we find that the Andorians and Orions are working with each other. Okay. We find that the Federation has, after the Time War, uh, basically outlawed time travel. Now, I'm going to have to say that what I know of Star Trek canon, that really wouldn't be the case. I believe that Section 31 would ultimately pick that up and continue that on. As far as the Federation, the reasons that they gave for the Federation being disbanded or being destroyed, as I would say, was because something happened with the dilithium crystals that caused them all to explode. Now, I can only imagine a catastrophe that would have caused as far as loss of life, because pretty much all technology in the Federation is powered by dilithium crystals, not just the starships. So the loss of life of something like that had to be catastrophic as well. So um, we could theorize about that and what happened and everything like that. We meet this guy named Book. He's an interesting character. And I'm going to have to say that I'm going to have to continue this video as a part two because YouTube is telling me that my size is getting a little too big.